From Southern Colorado's high-definition news leader, this is News Channel 13, where the news comes first.
I have been watching chaos. I've been watching cars threatening to run the police officers over. It's a little bit of insanity is what it is.
Highway 24 shut down, flash flood fears creating other problems, and big questions tonight. Should there be changes to the automatic road closures? From Woodland Park to Pueblo and right there on Highway 94, this storm created a mess throughout the region. We have it all covered tonight. And a tense standoff. A 61-year-old man is accused of trying to rob a Walgreens. How police ended it. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Heather Skold. And I'm James Jarman. And first tonight, your storm team coverage. The flash flood took over a backyard. This video shot by Ed Flanagan in Green Mountain Falls. Take a look right there what the yard looked like just before the flood hit. Within minutes, though, that entire yard flooded. A lot of that water coming down from Woodland Park. And the hail started coming down earlier this afternoon in Woodland Park. There are reports of an inch on the ground. That's from the same storm that forced Highway 24 to shut down in both directions.
I think everybody has their guard up pretty high as far as what's going to happen this summer.
Guard up and all eyes on the creek in Manitou. This was right before the flood hit. Scary there for a little bit when you saw it rising that high, but thankfully the creek stayed within the walls through downtown Manitou. There were no reports of any injuries today. And while the flash flooding in Fountain Creek didn't physically affect Highway 24 directly, the threat did indirectly. CDOT shut down the highway twice this afternoon. KRDO News Channel 13's Jonathan Petramala asked the question why, after millions of dollars have been spent to ease the flood risks.
James and Heather, Highway 24 is back open again and traffic is running smoothly, but I want to imagine something for just a moment. Let's say that a dart is a thunderstorm, the dartboard, the burn scar. You can see there have been a lot of misses this summer, including today, but what CDOT is worried about is for that one thunderstorm to hit a bullseye, and that means that debris and floodwater will come down onto Highway 24, possibly hurting someone.
If there was a way to understate yet explain the flash flood in Green Mountain Falls.
I mean, it got real there for a second.
Real is scary for Brock Osborne and his neighbor Angel Perez, and for more than just a second.
Went from just like this, at maybe 20 minutes, it was completely, everything was underwater.
Including their backyards.
Probably came up to my knee, about here.
Fountain Creek was higher in Perez's backyard than it usually is in its bed.
A great example of just how powerful this flash flood was. That boulder wasn't even in sight before the flood.
And it was all downhill from here.
Come on, you guys, let's go!
Cool. Thank you.
Highway 24 was closed twice at Cave of the Winds because of flash flood warnings. The second time, minutes after the first warning was lifted, which caused chaos as cars flooded the highway, expecting to be able to get through. At one point, stopped cars stretched for nearly 4 miles on Highway 24. And there were backups on Colorado Avenue, too.
I have been watching chaos. I've been watching cars threatening to run the police officers over. It's a little bit of insanity is what it is.
Patience running low, even though the creeks were running high.
I would just ask that they be patient and just try to understand that it's for their safety.
Millions have been spent on flood mitigation projects, including this box culvert underneath Highway 24. But Waldo Canyon isn't the only spot CDOT is worried about when the rain is heavy.
It's the unpredictability of nature that makes this response
We gotta clear the highway.
so predictable.
And CDOT has indicated that there is a small possibility in the near future that they could ease up on closing Highway 24 every time that there is a flash flood warning, although they're not ready to do that just yet. Live in El Paso County, Jonathan Petramala, KRDO News Channel 13.
See, that's what my car looks like. It's hail up to the rims.
Hail up to the rims along Highway 94 near Ellicott. Amber Hansen sent us this video. Hail there looked more like snow. As you can imagine, the severe storms are taking their toll on homes and jobs.
New at 10 o'clock, KRDO News Channel 13's Greg Miller shows us the impact Mother Nature's had so far and the fears for the future.
When farming is your livelihood, you rely on Mother Nature. But that means you also have to expect anything. But even George Schubert says damage like this is unprecedented on his farm near Ellicott.
When it got here, it kind of magnified everything north. Everything started coming together right here, and as you see, this creek bank right here was approximately about half this wide. And the volume of water was tremendous in here.
It's damage he has not seen in decades.
I said, well, it looked like 1965 again. We had the flood in 65 through this valley. It was 3 miles wide. And basically there was no water that fell in this area. It came from up north around Black Forest.
His farm has suffered a 1, 2, and now 3 punch, being hit day after day by downpours, leaving behind more than just washed away land.
And check out this refrigerator door. It's just one of many pieces of debris that go across about a mile of Schubert's farm. He thinks it'll take about 5 people up to 2 weeks to clean it up, in addition to all the other damage they've got to make sure is repaired. But that's only going to take 2 weeks if there aren't more storms ahead.
Miles away, a homeowner also near Ellicott was too distraught to talk on camera, but he showed us this damage to his home. This time, all caused by hail. Gigantic holes in his siding, his garden completely gone. He's forced to rebuild after seeing the wrath of Mother Nature firsthand. As for Schubert, he's not calling it a disaster yet. In fact, the rain has brought one silver lining in all of these clouds.
We had any pasture, and we've been feeding cows until, well, we still fed today. And that $300 a day going out for hay is a little bit tough. So I do like the rain. I really do. And we'll deal with the rest of it as it is.
Though he admits the rain could come down a little slower next time. Near Ellicott, Greg Miller, KRDO, News Channel 13.
And that is on the wish list for a lot of people. We want the rain, but just not so fast.
The
And it
double-edged
seems
sword of it all right there.
the storms have really just parked over our area, haven't they?
They have, and they've been so slow moving that we just get this heavy rain for an extended period of time. Take a look at some of the storm reports from the rain and the storms that we had out there today. Just under 2 inches of rain right near Ellicott fell through the afternoon, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you get all of that rain in a short period of time, obviously you can see the devastation that it causes with respect to some of the flooding we have been tracking. Near Rye, we saw over 1 inch, and near Pueblo, upwards of 1/2 inch. Check out those hail sizes too. Near Ellicott, 1.5 inch in diameter. Hailstones were reported in Ellicott, so a lot of large hail causing all of that damage. We even had a funnel cloud reported near Lamar this afternoon. Taking a look outside right now, we are still tracking a few storms across eastern parts of Los Animas County, but more importantly, I want to direct your attention to the storms that are near the Denver area. These storms are continuing to shift off toward the south and east, which means as we head through the next couple of hours into your early Tuesday morning, could see a few of these storms moving back into the Pikes Peak region. We are going to track that in more detail along with when the heavy rain returns tomorrow using Skycast a little later on in the newscast. James and Heather, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Rachel. Well, Pueblo City Council decides where you can and can't smoke pot. Before tonight, you could only smoke inside your home.
Tonight, Council extended those boundaries. KRDO News Channel 13's Emily Allen was at that council debate, but for such a divisive issue, looks like not too many people were there. She joins us live from City Hall in Pueblo. Emily.
James and Heather, when City Council decided on this ordinance, it looked much like this room now. It was practically empty, and for the people that were here, when the City Council asked people to weigh in on this ordinance, no one spoke up. Now, City Council President Sandy Daff says she was shocked that no one spoke up during this meeting about this ordinance. She does say these empty chairs say a lot about the community's changing attitude towards marijuana.
I think there's an acceptance that it's happening, it's here, and it's probably here to stay.
A little bit nervous that we keep going up and down, not really certain where.
Here's what City Council decided on tonight. You can smoke marijuana outside on private property like your home. Now, some City Council members were pushing for this to reduce secondhand smoke exposure if people can only smoke inside. There are a few details that City Council still needs to sort out. They did come to some agreement on what's called buffer zones. Basically, that means that if you're smoking in the front yard, you need to be 25 feet away from a public space like a sidewalk. And if you're in the backyard, you need to be 10 feet away from a public space like an alleyway. In Pueblo, Emily Allen, KRDO, News Channel 13.
Okay, thanks, Emily. A peaceful ending after a standoff at a Walgreens in Pueblo. It happened outside the store on U.S. Highway 50 West and Morris Avenue around 2:30 this afternoon. Take a look at the pictures taken by our partners at the Pueblo Chieftain. Police tell us the suspect, 61-year-old Jefferson Thien, walked into Walgreens with a handgun and stole prescription pills. Police arrived as he was walking out of the store. That led to a 3-hour-long standoff. Officers say the suspect was consuming prescription pills during that entire time.
He was armed with a handgun. At one point, he pointed the gun at the officers. They were able to get him contained to the east side of the store.
A handful of customers were inside Walgreens while the standoff was happening outside. No one was hurt.
Woodland Park is looking for a new mayor tonight. That's because Mayor David Turley quit today. He's accused of sexual assault on a child by a person in a position of trust. Court records claim he touched a 17-year-old boy inappropriately. In a public statement, he says, in part, given the allegations against me and the legal constraints placed upon me, I cannot continue to provide the attention to the city of Woodland Park that it so richly needs. Woodland Park's city manager says the city is moving forward.
We pride ourselves on being a city that has earned the trust and respect of our citizenry, as well as other municipalities within the region. We will continue to do that as well.
In his resignation statement, Turley says he is innocent.
A panic-filled night for a lost 4-year-old girl and her family. The little girl was discovered around 11:15 last night in the 3900 block of Regency Drive. That's on the Springs southwest side. Nearly 12 hours later, she was reunited with her parents. What a scary night for them. The only thing she told police was that her name was J.C. Madison Dufree. We don't yet know how the little girl disappeared. Police say no charges are being filed at this time against the parents.
Colorado's Attorney General will fight gay marriage. John Suthers says it's really only a matter of time until gay marriage is legal, but he has to defend Colorado's anti-gay marriage law in court. Today, he asked the Colorado Supreme Court to stop county clerks from giving marriage licenses to gay couples. And before this issue gets to the state Supreme Court, one same-sex Colorado Springs couple will get married tomorrow in Pueblo. Jordan Fernandez and Lori DePalia have been together for more than 20 years. They've never understood why gay marriage is such an issue across the nation.
What is it really hurting? It's adding to your community. It's adding stability. It's adding stability for our daughter. It's adding stability in a world that is completely unstable today.
UCCS political science professor Joss Dunn believes the longer couples are allowed to marry in Denver, Pueblo, and Boulder, the tougher it will be for any court to reverse the decision of local governments.
I think everybody has their guard up pretty high as far as what's going to happen this summer.
There's no relaxing when it rains and you live near the burn scar. And Rachel, it's no wonder the monsoon here is in full force.
It certainly is. Take a look at this video that was shot of Fountain Creek near 31st. You could see all of that water flowing through. We are going to be tracking a similar scenario setting up tomorrow. I'll be tracking that with SkyCast coming up right after the break.
And our favorite Olympic champion, Amy Van Dyken-Ruin, has an update she wants to share with you. That's coming up.
song that made everyone happy is turning just plain tacky. Today, Weird Al released his spoof of Pharrell's Happy.
Yeah, the video includes some famous faces, Aisha Tyler, Margaret Cho, and Jack Black, all dressed in clothes considered tacky. There you go. Weird Al. He always figures it out, doesn't he, Rach?
He does. What does it say about me if I actually liked the stretch pants that were featured in one of those outfits? Just throwing that out there. Take a look right now at this video. I think it's actually very interesting, and this is why the National Weather Service is so careful about issuing these flash flood warnings. Keep an eye in the center of your screen, and you can see the water that comes flowing toward the bridge and then ends up rushing over it. This was taken near Highway 24 in Cristola, sent to us by Michael Moore, and it flows over the bridge across the other side, completely filling the culvert that was supposed to take the water beneath the bridge. This was one of the reasons why Highway 24 was closed a number of times today, and why we had a flash flood warning in effect for a portion of Highway 24 for several hours through the afternoon. As of right now, the storms that we are continuing to track across southern Colorado, mainly just across the eastern part of Los Animas County. Up near Denver, we have a cluster of thunderstorms that we are going to need to monitor. As they slide toward the south and east, they are going to move into the Pikes Peak region. They should weaken as they slide toward the Pikes Peak region, but nevertheless, this is a spot where we have seen a lot of rain today and over the weekend, so it would not take much more to cause even more in the way of flooding concerns. So as we head through the night tonight, here's what you can expect. We're going to keep the clouds around through early tomorrow morning. Could get a few more sprinkles. This is a look at about 3 o'clock in the morning. And then as you're waking up, your alarm clock's going off. If you look out the window, you may encounter a few more showers around 6 a.m. So we are going to start off with these storms pretty early tomorrow morning. As we head into the afternoon hours, we will see the clouds breaking up right around lunchtime. We'll get a few hours of sunshine, but then we do it again. Tomorrow we are going to see the water in the atmosphere again, storms popping up over the high country. As we head into the afternoon, that's when things are really going to get rolling. By 4 o'clock, you'll notice those areas of yellow along the Palmer Divide and around the Pikes Peak region, over the mountains off to the west of the I-25 corridor. They'll start over the mountains first and then slide toward the east, and then watch what happens as we head into the later evening hours. That big area of yellow, SkyCast's way of suggesting that we could have some fairly strong storms during the late evening hours into the first part of the night tomorrow night that we'll have to monitor very closely. Those yellows and oranges indicate the potential for heavy rain. Could even see some hail with the storms that develop tomorrow. So it looks like we're going to get round 2 on your Tuesday. Temperatures tomorrow in the 70s and 80s. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. 70s tomorrow. We keep the 70s all the way through Thursday. So enjoy the cool weather while it lasts. As we head into the weekend, we start to warm up, and we'll finally get an opportunity to dry out just a bit. 88 degrees on Saturday, 90s expected Sunday into Monday. So we will dry out and we'll warm back up. Pueblo, your high temperature tomorrow, 82 degrees. We'll hit 81 on Wednesday with a 30% chance for storms both days. We'll taper that back to 10% Thursday, Friday, 90s and dry with plenty of sunshine expected Saturday, Sunday. Canyon City, 79 degrees tomorrow, 78 on Wednesday. Tuesday, Wednesday looking to be the most active time frame here over the next week. Thursday, Friday will still keep a few storms around, but should not be quite as active. And then Saturday, Sunday, we will finally dry things out, get you outside, let you, unfortunately, fix some of the damage that we have seen from the past couple of days of storms. Teller County 68 tomorrow, 66 on Wednesday. Low 60s Thursday, then we're back in the 70s next Monday. 80 degrees back on the forecast.
All right, looking good. Hey, thanks.
Way to go. Thanks, Rachel. Well, she is showing off her moves.
Yeah, Amy Van Dyke and Ruin's new announcement today. That is coming up.
A Colorado family is determined to make their dog's last days the best possible. Their pup is battling cancer.
Instead of giving up, Judy Jaros and her husband gave Marcia a canine bucket list. Now, Jaros is a volunteer at the Humane Society and recently adopted Marcia, a 5-year-old American Bulldog mix. Well, the day she was set to bring her home, she and her husband found out Marcia has stage 3 skin cancer. Now they make each day a gift filled with her favorite adventures.
She had a really hard life. She deserves a chance. And yeah, it might break the bank, but you know, it's money, whatever. She's brought us more joy. You know, she's just priceless to us, so it was worth it.
Well, so far, surgery has been unsuccessful to remove all of Marcia's cancer because it has spread to her lungs. Amy Van Dyken-Ruin made a name for herself, breaking records.
And that same attitude is helping her recovery after that ATV accident. She posted this video today showing that her hip flexors are functioning. Her spine was completely severed at the beginning of June, and since then, she's been working from 9 till 4 every day to strengthen her body.
Yeah, Amy's goal is to walk out of Craig Hospital in August. Wow. I mean, severed spine.
And now she's moving her leg like that.
That is incredible.
It is.
Well, I mean, that's one of her drive and desire helped her become an Olympic champion.
That's right.
It's helping her in her battle right now. Coming up in sports, Troy Tulowitzki and Justin Morneau participating in tonight's Home Run Derby. We'll let you know how deep and how long Tulo could go. Sports coming up.
Now, Rob Namnoon with Southern Colorado's award-winning sports.
Good evening, everybody. After his performance in tonight's home run derby, Yoenis Cespedes of the A's is making people say, yo, did you see Cespedes in the home run derby? Tulo was the captain of the National League squad tonight. Justin Morneau back in Minnesota, where he played 10 years for the Twins. Look how cute his kids are. Morneau, he didn't get out of the first round, but the fans love seeing him back in the Twin Cities. That shot hit that blue flag. Little tip of the cap after he was done. Tulo, he had a great first round. He would make it into the second round, and this is a great souvenir for a young fan. A home run ball, courtesy of Tulo. Now, Giancarlo Stanton of the Marlins didn't reach the finals tonight, but he hit the longest one of the night. Almost left the stadium, more than 500 feet at 6. And then Cespedes, he was impressive all night long. He was the king of the long ball tonight as he won tonight's home run derby as he wins back-to-back home run derbies. Rockies outfielder Charlie Blackmon will join Tulo in tomorrow night's All-Star game. What a thrill for Blackmon. It'll be his first ever All-Star game. Pretty big deal, right? His family, they'll be making the trip to Minneapolis for the All-Star game. Of course his family wouldn't miss it, except for one family member.
Mom and Dad are definitely coming. I invited my sister to come, but she's on vacation at the beach, and that's what she wants to do. So I want her to do whatever she wants to do.
The U.S. lacrosse team played England tonight in the World Championships in Denver, and the U.S. in the red. They made it look easy. They made it look like England was playing with one less player on the field. The U.S., they would crush the boys from across the pond tonight as they would win by a score of 20-1. Hey, I am all for passion when it comes to being a fan. However, a fan in Corpus Christi, Texas, took it a little bit too far yesterday, and for what? After Telvin Nash of Corpus Christi Hooks was hit by a pitch by Blake Hassenbrook of Midland, a fan, Nicholas Swoop, ran onto the field to confront the pitcher. It appeared as if he was going to throw a punch. And then a few of the Rockhounds players rushed to the pitcher's aid. One even pushed that fan to the ground. I don't think he realized that it wasn't just the pitcher on the field. It came close to getting ambushed by the entire team. Police say, get this, you'll be surprised, that the 35-year-old was under the influence of alcohol.
No, you don't say.
Yes, and is facing trespassing and a threatening assault charge.
Has he ever watched a baseball game?
Yeah,
there's
usually 9 players on the field.
He was invincible, though, so he thought.
In his own mind.
Wow.
That's right. Hey, Capturing Colorado coming up next.
Check out these guys still wearing their velvets. This picture comes to us from Stephanie Jones. She tells us this group stops by her house every day, and that's why she loves Colorado.
Yeah, why do you love Colorado? Send us pictures of your favorite Colorado things. You can post them on our Facebook page and see your handiwork on the news. Later that night, we show these every night at 6 and 10 o'clock, and they do some in the morning as well. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Have a good night.